We're looking at the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers game, released back in 1994. But how does it hold up now? Let's break it down. The game is a simple side-scrolling brawler, which means you move left to right on the screen, punching and kicking your way through waves of enemies. You start by picking one of the main Power Rangers: red, blue, yellow, pink, or black. Each ranger has a unique weapon, like Jason's sword or Kimberly's bow, which makes the gameplay slightly different depending on who you choose. You begin each level in civilian form, meaning you're not in your ranger suit yet. You fight through enemies like putty patrollers until you get to a point where you morph. This is where the magic happens. The music kicks in with the classic Go-Go Power Rangers theme, and your character transforms into their full ranger gear. Once you morph, you get more powerful attacks and special moves. At the end of each level, there's a boss fight. These bosses are pulled straight from the TV show, like Bones, Eye Guy, and other memorable villains. Each boss has unique patterns, so you have to time your attacks and dodges to win. When this game came out, it was a big deal for Power Rangers fans. The show was at the height of its popularity, and the game felt like an extension of that world. The music, the characters, and even the way the game looked captured the vibe of the show perfectly. The transformation sequences were a major highlight. If you were a fan of the show, hearing the theme song while morphing into your ranger suit felt amazing. It was like you were right there with the team. But the game wasn't just about nostalgia. The combat, while simple, was fun. The controls were responsive, and the boss fights added some challenge. It was the kind of game you could pick up, play for an hour, and feel like a hero. As great as the game was, it wasn't perfect. For one, it was short, only about 7 levels. If you were good at the game, you could finish it in a couple of hours. Another thing missing was multiplayer. Power Rangers is all about teamwork, but the game only let one person play at a time. Imagine how fun it would have been to team up with a friend and take on Rita's minions together. Unfortunately, that wasn't an option. And while the gameplay was fun, it could get repetitive. Most levels involved fighting the same types of enemies over and over before reaching the boss. Now, let's talk about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Rita's Rewind, the new game that's built on the original's foundation but adds a ton of modern features. In Rita's Rewind, the story explores a what-if scenario where Robo-Rita goes back in time to team up with her younger self. This means you get to fight classic villains in brand new ways, adding a fresh twist to battles you might remember. The game keeps the 2D brawler style but upgrades everything. But it's not just about looks. New mechanics, like Megazord battles and giant kaiju-style fights, bring much more variety. One big improvement is local multiplayer. Now, you can team up with a friend to fight enemies, which makes the experience feel more like the show. There are also nods to Power Rangers history, like the Tenga Warriors from later seasons showing up in early settings. Plus, the Juice Bar, a central location from the TV show, is fully recreated. You can explore it and even unlock original arcade games within the game itself. The original game will always have a special place in Power Rangers history. It was simple, fun, and captured the spirit of the show. But when you compare it to Rita's Rewind, the differences are clear. The new game takes everything the original did well and improves on it. The story is more creative, the gameplay is more varied, and the addition of multiplayer finally lets you team up with friends. That said, the original still has its charm. The simplicity might even be a good thing if you're just looking for a quick, straightforward game to enjoy. If you're a hardcore Power Rangers fan or love retro games, the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is definitely worth a shot. It's like stepping into a time machine and reliving the early days of the franchise. But if you're after a more complete and exciting Power Rangers experience, Rita's Rewind is the better choice. It has everything you loved about the original, but with more features, better gameplay, and a fresh storyline. That's all for our look at the Power Rangers game. But if classic adventures are more your thing, don't miss our review of Broken Sword: Shadow of the Templars in 2024. Click the link to check it out.